So I just talked a little bit about the personal coach, and I just want to talk to you a little bit around why we came into existence to start off with. We're 10 years old in this year, and it's been my observation that through advisors' careers, and this would probably apply to any entrepreneur, people get stuck. They get stuck for different reasons. And so our job is to help them kind of get unstuck, get on a new track, and take their business to a new level, or their life to a new level. So something that I'm going to talk to you about today is not necessarily about business, it's about how to live a better life. Now, just out of interest with this group, anybody stuck? And where would you be stuck? What would cause you to be stuck, do you think?
Probably old habits.
Okay.
Allows one to get stuck.
Okay, so, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same things and expecting different results, so trying to figure out what those new habits might want to be.
Family taking up too much time.
Okay, so life balance, but that's all part of it too, life balance, and that's important. Anyone else? Anyone's?
To properly get more of the clients that we do want.
Okay.
And especially tap into new opportunities.
Okay, so new client acquisition, but particularly the right kind of new clients.
You got it.
Okay. Anyone stuck on revenue? Anyone just right there on the revenue side of things that just doesn't seem to want to move? Okay. And I noticed that you also are working on staffing and making a hire, and so sometimes, you know, getting the right people around you is always an issue. So what I'm going to share with you today is our experience in dealing with over 50 advisors or advisory firms that have at least $1 million worth of revenue. And I'm going to share with you what I see them doing, some of which we've helped them do, some of which they've been doing on their own. And what I'm hoping that you'll do is you'll pick from that maybe one item. You say, you know what, that really appeals to me, and I'd like to go deeper on that, and hopefully I'll give you some ideas today that you'll be able to apply. You know, there was a fellow in the insurance business many, many years ago who said, ideas are a dime a dozen, but the person that implements is priceless. And so I noticed that you have an action sheet in front of you, and we've also provided you with an action sheet also. So that as you're going through this particular as we're visiting together, going through this, there may be an idea or two or an action plan out of there that you can take, and when you get back to your offices tomorrow, begin to implement. Because at the end of the day, if you've invested an entire day and you walk out of this day without implementing a new idea, I would say you've wasted your time, wasted your day. Fair enough? Also in this folder, there's a couple other things there that I'll reference as you go along, but hopefully it'll help you take some notes and identify some action steps. So, let's talk about these $1 million businesses, and what are some of the commonalities that I see that drives these businesses? Well, first of all, they're providing great value to their clients, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. They're very focused on their ideal client. They know what their ideal client looks like, and they really work hard to get more ideal clients. They all have a focus on new acquisition. One of the things that I found quite astounding over the last 10 years that I've been with the personal coach is the number of advisors who built great businesses and then stopped doing new client acquisition. I actually had one advisor who was in his 50s make the following statement to me. He said, you know, I was told that when I hit 50, I would never have to acquire a new client. And I said, that is mumpsness. And he said to me, what? Mumpsness, a mistaken belief of a wrong idea. And so I think as long as you want to maintain an active business and a growing business and a business that would fetch a premium when you go to sell it, I think you always need to be focused on new client acquisition. And that's the one thing for sure that I see very common amongst those $1 million businesses. The delivery process to clients, and I'll talk about that. They have great staff around them, they leverage themselves, and they all have great financial strategies. Now, just so you understand how we operate, and I think once you understand this model, you'll then understand why we know so much about these businesses. Our process, which is really our value proposition, is we provide people with a 1-hour complimentary consultation to start off with. So if someone were to contact us, we provide this 1 hour. Wayne, anyone know the name Wayne Cotton?
Yeah.
Okay, Wayne has, at outside, has actually looked at our 1 hour, valued this at $500. So it's a complimentary session. From there, we come in and do an assessment, and what we do in that assessment is we meet you and all of your people, and we come into your offices and get an idea of what you're all about, and kind of what your environment is, what your culture is. And we then provide you with a written consulting report in terms of what we see based upon where you want to go and where you are, identify the gaps, and identify the roadmap that would take you into this next level. People are free to take that consulting paper and actually implement it themselves, but most of our clients say, okay, I get you, but will you partner with me, will you work with me in terms of making those habitual changes that we talk about to take my business to the next level. And that's when we start to actually begin a shaping process where we customize the plan and we get in and we do some personalized coaching. And as we're going along, we develop an action plan with implementation strategies and deadlines, kind of to-dos, if you will, that not only the advisors have to apply to, but also the individual staff. And then as we go along, you know, measurement always improves performance, and so we put in some things to measure against so that we can see we're making progress. So that's kind of our process that we go through, and we've gone through that with all of our clients. The very first thing that I observed with these $1 million practices is that they take some time to work on their business while not always being in their business. So today is a day where you're working on your business, you're not in your business. And that is the one thing that I noticed that these $1 million practices do, is they always take some time religiously, and typically it's quarterly, where they will work on their business. One of the things that we've brought to the table for them is what we call a strategic team advantage. And I'm just going to walk you through just a couple little parts of this, just so you get a sense of what these practices are looking at, what they're dealing with as they're building their models, and as they're building their business plan, which of course is where you're at right now as we're coming towards the end of the year. And I want to focus on two or three of these issues. When you think about it, we're all subject to the environment that we're in. And the environment that financial advisors are in is shaped by their clients, by the economy, by the financial services, obviously by the companies, distributors. And the question always is, well, how are you responding to the environment? So when you think about clients, has there been much change in terms of the way the clients view financial services? And if so, how would you describe it?
More skeptical than it's ever been.
More skeptical? You know, our markets apparently are going to take off like a shot today, and they've been going dropping like a stone last week. There's a lot of skepticism about what's driving this type of thing. What else would you say about our clients?
More sophisticated?
More sophisticated? Do they have more time or less time? Live in Toronto, less time. Spend more time on the bloody highway, don't they? Okay, so there's a change that's happened here. How about the economy? Wow, it's up and down like a toilet seat, isn't it? So lots of changes there. And then financial services. I remember one day getting a call from one of my clients, this was my Manulife days, one of my clients, an advisor, who said to me, Art, I want to know what the rule is around an RBC stockbroker selling one of my clients a Manulife financial life insurance policy. And I thought, oh my gosh. What's happened is those four pillars have all merged. And today's challenge for all financial advisors is, how do you differentiate yourself in a very crowded marketplace? Because everyone is in everyone else's business, aren't they? Do you find that?